Another interesting thing happened though is you went from playing in the Silverdome to Ford Field. Like you were the last year at the one stadium and the first year at the next. Uh, any interesting tidbits on that transition or what that was like going from one stadium to the other?
Uh, well, for the Silverdome, we were on a lease, and we essentially rented the Silverdome. Now, the locker room was kind of old school. It was almost like chain link fences. You couldn't really like throw your keys on the top shelf because it would just fall down through the chain link shelf. It was interesting. It was like
Wow.
really old school. Your practice field was up the hill outside on this little nice piece of grass. When the cold weather came, if they didn't verify it, if they didn't verify it with the Silverdome, we couldn't go inside. They had like a little bubble out there too that we practiced in, but we couldn't always be inside the Silverdome. And I remember the one time they were like, "Yeah, well, we're going in. We're going in the Silverdome." And we were in there practicing, and apparently we weren't supposed to be. And for some reason, whoever was in charge decided to start playing music as loud as they could to get us out, as to be a distraction. And it was Kid
Wow.
Rock, Ball with the Ball, as loud as you could possibly play it. And the coaches were like, "Hey, this is nothing like this is the same as crowd. Excuse me, this is the same as crowd noise." And so we stayed in, and we're on the field. We're going through indies. We're warming up, and all of a sudden, the turf starts bubbling up. And so the turf, the AstroTurf at the time, that thick rubber mat with
Oh
turf on
yeah.
top, it wasn't field turf; it was AstroTurf. So to get that up because the Silverdome used to hold like concerts and monster truck rallies, you don't keep the turf down when you have the monster truck rally. So you lift the turf up, and how do you do it? There's like these hoses that go under and put air underneath it, so it pushes the rubber up so it doesn't stick. And we're on the turf, and it's like bubbling up. And so we were forced to leave, and we had to walk outside and go practice outside in the snow, I think. And that's the funny thing is like when we finally went to Dearborn Allen Park, we actually had an indoor field that we could use at all times and didn't have to get kicked off at any point. So that was a nice thing. So there's some insight. Maybe that was one of the reasons why we were 0-11 the start of that year. We're not just fighting the other teams; we're fighting the damn stadium people who ran the lease.
Mike, that is one of the most bizarre stories I've heard about an NFL team trying to practice in their stadium, which obviously apparently was not owned but leased, but the fact that they were kicked out of it and not
Yeah,
allowed to practice.
I didn't understand it because I was like, why can't we practice in our stadium? And it was like, well, we leased this, and there was I don't know why we weren't allowed or weren't supposed to be on it that day, but for
Yeah.
some reason they did not want us on it, and it was like, well, we're gonna be on it for 2 hours. What's the big deal? And they got us out.